This is Jay Holgate with SECSportsReport.com in Atlanta, Georgia. Today I have the privilege of having Dandy Don on the line with me today. He's the king of LSU football. He's the go-to man if you need any questions about LSU football. He carries a blog that is just awesome. Every time I write a story and he puts a link back to my site, we get thousands of people, thousands of LSU fans. And so I just want to welcome to SEC Sports Report. I just want to welcome Dandy Don to our show. Dandy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for calling me. It's a privilege to be on your show.
Let's talk a little bit about LSU football. We just finished up the season. We're a couple weeks away from the bowl games that just happened. Let's talk about LSU this past year. You guys finished out the season with a 9-4 season. 9-3 in the regular season. You lost the bowl game to Penn State. What was the general thought process of everybody about LSU this season at the end of the year?
Well, like you said, LSU finished 9-4 counting the bowl game, but it really felt more like a 4-9 record. The team finished, something like 110th in the nation in total offense, and we didn't really have a really blowout win the entire season. Even though our 4 losses did come against Alabama, Florida, Ole Miss, and Penn State, all 4 teams ranked in the top 20. Things just did not feel right. LSU almost lost to Mississippi State and pushed to the limit by a couple other schools like Louisiana Tech, and Vanderbilt played us tight. But I think the good thing is that we did go 9-4, and we won the games on the field. We had some tough breaks during the year, like I'm sure you've seen the Alabama game and the Florida game, and a couple of breaks went against us that they could have helped turn those games around. But overall, LSU fans are happy to be 9-4, but they don't feel like it was a 9-4 year.
Yeah, I was down on the field with Les Miles after you guys whipped Georgia Tech at the Georgia Dome last season for the bowl game, Chick-fil-A Bowl. You guys, everything was clicking. Jordan Jefferson looked like he was going to be the new superstar, and you guys bring in a new defensive coordinator. It just looked great. Then I saw Les Miles in Birmingham. He seemed to be very positive about the team, and it just seemed like that your defense was pretty strong, but it just didn't seem like your offense could put up enough points for the fans to be really convinced that this was a really good team. But they really were a good team. You lose 4 games, and all teams are in the top 20. The Florida and Alabama are number 3 and number 1, and Ole Miss is a good team. And when they so it really is a good LSU team. I feel like you guys got something to build on going into next season. Sometimes you just have a year where you're just not going to get the big wins. But I was down in Tuscaloosa for the LSU Alabama game, and I really thought LSU had that game. And
My thoughts are too. LSU was playing exceptionally well in that game, and like I said, there was a questionable call on Peterson interception that was ruled an incomplete pass. And then Charles Scott was having his best game of the year running the football, and we really had a great drive going when Scott broke his collarbone, so he had to sit out the rest of the game. But I think there's some good things going on at LSU. Jordan Jefferson finished the second half of the Penn State game. He was outstanding, and Tuberville on that half. And we have some outstanding running backs. We have a redshirt freshman named Michael Ford that is really going to be an outstanding back. And of course, Richard Murphy, who's an outstanding player. He broke his leg early in the year, first game of the year, I believe. He didn't play any. So we'll have those 2 people back. And plus, running back position is a position where, freshmen can come in and play, and we have a couple of real hot-shot freshmen coming in.
Right.
They'll be okay there.
Well, you guys also picked up a couple of big coaches. I was really surprised to see you got Billy Gonzalez from Florida. You picked up one of Lane Kiffin's guys, and you got to hand it to Les. He picks these guys out of the SEC. Where else should you get them from? That's pretty smart. And you got one from South Carolina last year. He's picking guys from all over the SEC. I think
that makes me feel good about the future, because people like
Right. No, I agree. I agree.
That Miles is putting together an outstanding recruiting class this year. It looks like it's going to finish definitely in the top 10. And if we get a couple of kids who I believe we're going to get, and Lake Sea Crump is one of them, we can finish close to the top 5. And I just believe that considering the coaches that Les Miles has been able to hire and the recruiting classes the last 2 years, I think the future of the program looks good.
No, I agree. I told you that this year I went out on a limb early in the season and picked LSU to upset Florida, and all season long I had been picking upsets, and I just knew LSU was going to beat Florida. They had won like 23 games at home when they played at night, and I went out on a limb. I went on the radio stations. I told everybody, I was like, LSU's going to win this game. And they had a couple opportunities, but that Florida defense just shut them down, and it was that was a tough loss.
That's right. Florida, they played exceptionally well that night. If I remember correct, they didn't have any turnover in that game, and I think they only had 2 penalties called against them in the entire game. So they played well, and Florida was a good football team, and they definitely deserve to finish the season ranked number 3 in the nation.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, they had a great season, and there's just a lot of shakeups going right now in the SEC. You got this whole thing with Lane Kiffin going on. Any take? What are they saying in the Bayou about Lane Kiffin?
Well, they think that Tennessee came out on this good deal on that, get rid of him, get him out of Tennessee because this guy he does some weird things. I believe he would have gotten Tennessee on probation if he hadn't already gotten him on probation for some of the crazy stuff he did. But LSU has a chance of picking up 1 or 2 maybe of the Tennessee commitments. I understand that they're in pretty good shape on a linebacker. Who was Smith, I believe his last name, is second-ranked player in the state. But I think most LSU fans and most SEC fans are glad that Kiffin's leaving. Glad to get rid of him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I know that everybody here, everybody I've talked to, they're first of all the Tennessee fans are just shocked. But I think over time, I think you're right that Southern Cal will probably go on probation. So and I think that Tennessee, he was just causing a whole lot of trouble in a lot of different areas, and he was in the paper a whole lot. I just don't see Kiffin excelling wherever he goes. I think he's a hard worker. But I think there is there are some ethics involved in coaching, and I'm hoping that these future coaches that they don't believe in winning at all costs. With their
talking about the Tennessee job, I bet you that Tommy Tuberville, had he knew that this job was open, I bet he would have waited a little while.
I know. I know. It's kind of amazing, and maybe even Charlie Strong too. Some of these positions open up, and you just don't know. It's what's going to happen from day to day. So, I mean, I'm with you. Some of these coaches, they'll sit, and then they'll make a move, and then right after they make a move, the obvious choice, pops open for them. But it's going to be interesting to see who Tennessee gets. They've been a powerhouse in the East, and it'll be interesting to see who they get. Don, I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man, and you guys got a subscription-free site. It's one of the best sites out there on LSU football. It's dandydon.com. You want to tell me just for a little bit about your site?